Spoiler alert for all religious folks out there. Sometimes it's not about God at all. Sometimes it's all about people just trying to control their public appearance and how people see them. Religion has now become a very interesting aspect of image branding, and also a way that some of these influencers try to build trust with their community. And as much as you guys want to deny this, it is happening and it is factual. Howdy, welcome back to another episode on the Wholesome Rave podcast. Today's video is really interesting. I know you guys haven't seen this pretty face in a while, but I promise you guys are going to love today's video. Today's topic is all about infamous religion. But before you click out of this video, just give me a chance. We're going to talk about Brittany Renner and how she changed her religion for love. I know this is not the first time you guys have heard of anyone changing their religion for the sake of love, but hear me out. Religion has now become very exploitative. People change their religion for many different reasons. Some people change their religion, like in the case of Brittany Renner, for love, and some people change their religion just to appear morally superior to others. There are also some people that change their religion because they are trying to avoid being accountable for their bad and disgusting behaviors. And let me tell you, religion has now become a perfect way for people to rebrand their image. The truth is, religion is a very powerful tool. It gives you a sense of moral cover. It also sometimes grants you immunity from judgment. And that is why there are so many public figures that are using religious conversion as a form of image management. It's crazy, right? Have you ever come across a situation where an influencer or a high-profile celebrity suddenly finds religion when a crisis is happening in their career? Somehow, these people tend to become very faithful. These people tend to become very meek as well, especially in their outward behavior. Maybe you do know someone like this that lives right across the street from you. Keep it to yourself. This is just an exercise, okay? A popular example of this type of person is Brittany Renner. Brittany Renner is actually an American celebrity, and she came to fame through a lot of means. So Brittany actually did change her religion for the sake of love. But sadly, their marriage only lasted for 72 days, and this is mind-blowing. And now Brittany has suddenly abandoned this newfound religion. That is suspicious, trust me. She's not the first person to do this. A lot of people are actually considering changing their religion because of their current partner. But let me just hold you for a moment. If you're ever thinking of changing your religion just to please a man and not for the sake of your personal satisfaction and your values, I would please urge you to hold that thought. And it's probably going to be a mistake if you do this. In influencer culture, this has now become a trend. Like, one of the reasons why some people actually consider changing their religion is also due to the opportunities that come with being attached to a certain religion. Like, think about it. Some politicians, when it's time to vote, they suddenly start talking more about their faith. Why do you think they do this? They do this because they're trying to get you to see them in a different way, to think that they are likable. These people use religion as a means to get certain opportunities, especially from people. Another reason why people tend to change their religion, of course, is also to change their status. Funny enough, it's crazy, but some people actually do think that if you aren't following a certain religion, you're probably not on their level. So another reason why people tend to do this is also to appear innocent, to make you feel like they are easily relatable. This is tricky because manipulative people like to use this one. Like, people who are extremely narcissistic They love this. We see people coming out from jail and suddenly turning to Christ. That is not uncommon. It's very common, but some people actually do fake it, it's real. Some people do fake these things. They tell you their story and tell you about their convictions. They're doing all these things to make you feel like they are a good person. Deep down, they are as dark as a shadow. There are also many situations where people tend to do this because they think that if they accept a certain belief or faith, then they can overcome their past traumas, or they can avoid karma for their bad and wrongdoings. But really, what goes around definitely comes around. So if you're one of those people that think that by doing this you are trying to make the world a better place, I just want to remind you that you are a shitty person. Okay, so many people tend to follow these opportunistic minded people, and it's ruining you. And that's what we're seeing with Brittany Renner. Another crazy example of that I remember is of Tiger Lily from the 90 Days Fiancé show. I don't know if you guys even watch this show. Some of you guys, I don't know if you guys follow this show. This was really crazy. This lady had to change her religion for a different man. I think he was from Egypt, and she had to change her entire religion just to please this guy. Turns out he just had way too much rules. And mind you, I'm saying this not to bash any religion in particular. I'm not trying to say that one religion is better than another or one is less than another. That's not my point. I'm just trying to say that sometimes, even for her, like watching that entire show, it made me so uncomfortable because she probably doesn't realize what she's doing to herself. I would say that a person's religion is a fundamental aspect of someone's core. It's hugely part of what makes you who you are. So having to change your entire belief and still live with these rules, these demands from your partner, sometimes you just have to wonder if religion is doing you more favor or actually ruining you mentally and physically and emotionally. I feel like there are some people that have a different kind of mindset. These people try out different religion and then finally come to a resolution that, okay, this is what I want to follow, and that is okay. I don't think that following any religion in particular makes sense. I do feel like a person needs to have a spiritual journey, and living each day is a journey on its own. It's almost as if we have to live in both the physical and also communicate with the spirit world. And entirely, when you look at it in a broader sense, I feel like all religion are trying to show you a way to connect with your inner self. And good if you're one of those people that have found that path of connecting with yourself through a particular religion. But for those people who tend to be confused, I would say take time to study, do your research on what you're actually getting yourself into. Watching Tiger Lily really broke my heart because she never really knew what she was getting herself into. She never really knew how her fiance would treat her based on his own conception of what it takes to follow a religion judiciously. Some people just get into it without questioning anything. And it's not just to question the religion as a whole, it's about having a sense of how it helps you, how it molds you into a better person. In the end, that is what matters, right? Except you have a different idea of what matters. I also tried to find real life examples or case studies of people that have actually done this aside from Britney and Tiger Lily. We're gonna go back to the historical times. Constantine the Great also did this during his time. Constantine, during the Milvian Bridge battle, he decided to use religion as a way to win people's hearts. So during this time, people were starting to talk more about Christianity. And what Constantine did was that Constantine claimed that he had seen a cross on the sky that read, "In this sign, conquer." So by saying this, he actually made people believe that he had actually seen God in some sense. And people took this story and they ran with it. Just imagine if Constantine never got that famous and never won that battle. How would people have reacted to this? Constantine attributed his success to the Christian God. This led to Christianity being legalized during the Roman Empire. So previously, people were just having their own religion or probably trying to hide their religion from the religion that was well known at that time. I'm sure you must be asking yourself, why is this considered exploitative? I'll tell you why this is considered exploitative. This is considered exploitative because during that time, Constantine still maintained his pagan name and he never got baptized until the day he died. So that is fishy on its own. And another reason why this is a very exploitative move that Constantine made was that he decided to say this at a time where Christianity was at its all-time high. And that is how he got victory. He saw a loophole and he took advantage of it. The craziest part is him keeping his pagan name, also known as Pontifex Maximus. He was the chief of the Roman religion. How crazy is that? That is a two-faced move on Constantine's part. So what does this actually show you? This tells you that religious conversions can actually be a strategic move for legitimacy and control, and people use this especially when power is at stake. Another famous example of a person who did this was Mark Wahlberg. I actually looked into him. I'm sure I'm not the only one that thinks that Mark and this other guy, Matt Damon, kind of look alike. I mean, let me know if you guys also agree. So what was I saying? I was looking into Mark and I discovered that this guy did a lot of bad stuff. And you guys have seen him on the big screens. During his youth, Mark used to be pretty notorious. He was racist, he was homophobic, and he publicly never denied any of these claims. So given Mark's history of racism and homophobia, Mark has now turned to religion. So in 1988, Mark Wahlberg assaulted a Vietnamese man named Lam. So he did this while trying to steal a beer in a place called Dorchester, Massachusetts. It was said that Mark had hit this man with a 5-foot wooden stick, and this caused Lam to be hospitalized. Mark apparently went to another Vietnamese man to ask him for help, but then he ended up punching this man in the eyes, and this led to him losing his eye. When I read this, I was in shock because we see these people on screen and some of us don't really know their histories. So Mark went to jail and came out and had this newfound belief, and he openly talks about his belief. I took to Reddit to do more googling. Mark is now very much involved with this prayer app called the Halo. He promotes this app literally everywhere. There are people who are complaining about how this app doesn't feel like something that they would be connected to. The reason being that some of these ads had cult-like tones to them, especially the ads that they were pushing on YouTube and on other platforms. And people are also complaining about how some of the movies that he's portrayed in are nothing alike to something God-fearing. But why is this so controversial? Some critics think that Mark's religious conversion is just a gimmick. Some argue that he uses religion to whitewash his past and also to avoid deeper accountability. Some critics also claim that Mark's conversion is only shown on TV screens and in his movies. The narrative of a person suddenly gaining redemption actually sells well to the public. People love that stuff because anyone who thinks about doing something bad, something evil, they're always thinking of a way out. They're thinking of a way that they can use to gain people's trust back once they've done that evil thing. So you kind of have to be careful of people that come to you through this deceptive means. I'm guessing we have to all consider that as much as we love the idea of religion and how it holds people together, you also need to think about the deception in this. You have to look at the history of how this has been used so many times to brainwash some of you all. Some of you all are just letting this control you. You have no control over the religion you practice. At the end, we have to create our path. Everyone is responsible for creating the life that they want, creating their dream. That is also shaped by your religious beliefs. As much as people tend to ignore this, it is super important. If you decide to look into that person that gives you the ache whenever they talk to you about religion, trust me, some of what you feel is actually your gut telling you that this person is just trying to be manipulative. This person is just trying to use you. Some of you guys see the signs, but you keep ignoring this. You ignore this because you think that, oh, we fall under the same umbrella. We are brothers in whatever God you serve. But seriously, it's time for you to wake up. If you aren't smart enough, if you aren't one of the top 10% that actually knows how to filter these bad apples, you're going to end up being the one that is the victim. And when it comes to Brittany Renner and Kevin Gates, I feel like they both played themselves because, like, Britney's situation is messy AF, and child, you don't want to be the person making this kind of silly mistake. You really need to know what you're getting into it for. Are you getting into it for the sake of public image? You're getting into it just for personal benefits? Like, I think she did this just to get personal gains from Kevin Gates. She wanted to feel like his lady. She wanted to suit the role. She felt she had to put herself in a completely different box, and look how that turned out. So while religion definitely transforms a lot of people's life, there is also a lot of downside to it, because now this has become more trendy and it has become very exploitative, especially for people who prefer to use religion as a tool rather than a truth. You could use this as a means to seek the truth that lies deep within oneself. So that is why I decided to make this video, because I entirely just feel so bad for some of these people like Britney, Tiger Lily. It's sad to know that a lot of people follow Mark Wahlberg and follow him and love him, but they don't know that he could just be doing this to gain people's trust. So that's pretty much it for this video. If you did enjoy watching this, make sure to hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to turn on that notification bell. Share this video to your friends and family, to anyone that might find this interesting. Thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to click the next video and watch. So that's about it for this video. I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.